Hi everyone, welcome to MyMax Academy. In this video, we'll continue with matrices chapter, which is chapter 3 from your 12th standard CBSE mathematics. We'll continue with the miscellaneous examples in page number 98 of your textbook, example 26. So what is given? Given in the question is A is equal to cos theta sin theta minus sin theta cos theta. And we have to prove that a power n is equal to cos n theta sin n theta minus sin n theta cos n theta for every n belonging to n, which this denotes set of all natural numbers. So we have to prove that for every n this is true, which means a power 2 will be cos 2 theta sin 2 theta minus sin 2 theta cos 2 theta. A cube a power 3 will be cos 3 theta cos sin 3 theta minus sin 3 theta cos 3 theta. We have to prove for every n belonging to n. And whenever we have to prove anything for every n belonging to set of all natural numbers or positive integers, the method, we have several methods, but one of the methods that we will follow is a principle of mathematical induction. We will prove this by the method called principle of mathematical induction, which you had studied in your 11th standard, right? So we will use that technique, which is PMI technique, to prove this, right? PMI, which is principle of mathematical induction. So we'll use that to prove this. So for the PMI, which you would have already studied in your 11th standard, whenever we want to prove anything by PMI, we have 3 steps. Step 1 is we will have to prove that this is true when n equal to 1. For n equal to 1, we have to prove that this is true. And then we have to prove that when n is equal to k, we will have to assume that for n is equal to k, this is true. So first step is we have to prove for n equal to 1. Second step is we have to assume that for n is equal to k, it is true. And third step is we have to prove for n is equal to k plus 1. For k plus 1, this is true, that we have to prove. So I'm repeating again, there are 3 steps. First step is to prove that this is true when n is equal to 1. Second step is we will assume, the word assume is very important. We will not prove, we will assume that it is true when n is equal to k. And then third step is we will have to prove that when n is equal to k plus 1, this is true. So we'll have these 3 steps. Once all these 3 steps are done, then we can say that by principle of mathematical induction, this is true for every n belonging to set of all natural numbers, or this is true for every positive integer, right? So proof. So proof is, we'll say we will prove this. We will prove using principle of mathematical induction. Principle of mathematical induction. So the first step is, step 1 is we need to prove that we need to prove for n equal to 1. We need to prove for n is equal to 1. So for PMI, we will call this entire thing as a statement. So we will call this P of n. We'll call this entire thing as P of n colon is a power n, that is equal to cos n theta sin n theta minus sin n theta cos n theta. So the given statement or the given equation, we will call that as P of n. This is called as P of n. Now we need to prove for n is equal to 1, this one, which means we have to prove P of 1. So n is equal to 1 means P of 1. What is P of 1? Right? So P of 1 is, we'll put in the place of n, we'll put 1. So a power 1 equal to cos 1 into theta, which is theta, sin theta minus sin theta cos theta. So we have got a power 1. If I put n is equal to 1 here, I get a equal to a power 1, which is a equal to this, which is true, that is given here. A equal to this is true. It's already given. Therefore, we can say P of 1 is true. Which means this expression or statement is true when n is equal to 1. This is true because when I put n is equal to 1, I get a equal to this, and that is given. A equal to this is given. So this is matching. These two are equal because this is also a, this is also a. Cos theta, sin theta minus sin theta, cos theta, this is also a. So both are matching. So it is true for n is equal to 1. Now we have to assume. Step 2 is let's assume P of k is true. P of k means when n equal to k. We have to put n is equal to k. Let's assume P of k is true. What is P of k? That is P of k is a power k. P of k we have to put colon. P of k statement a power k equal to cos k theta sin k theta minus sin k theta cos k theta. So wherever n is there, I am putting k in this expression. That is your P of k. If P of n is this, which means your P of k, wherever n is there, I am putting k. We are assuming that this is true, which means a power k is this. This we are assuming. Let's assume. We need not prove this. We'll assume that this is true for n is equal to k. Now third step we have to prove. What? We need to prove P of k plus 1 is true. This we have to prove. That is we need to prove P of k plus 1 colon. What is P of k plus 1? Is a power k plus 1 equal to cos k plus 1 theta sin k plus 1 theta minus sin k plus 1 theta and cos k plus 1 theta. So you have to prove this. You have to prove a power k plus 1 equal to this. Once we prove this, then we can say this is true for every n belonging to n. Now what is a k plus 1? This is true here. Now what is our a k plus 1? So I am starting with LHS of left hand side of P of k plus 1. What is LHS of P of k plus 1? This is your P of k plus 1 statement. Right? P of k plus 1. So LHS is this a k plus. We have to take this. I am starting with a k plus 1. A k plus 1 can be written as a into a k. A into a power k. Right? A into a power k is a power k plus 1. But what is a? A is this. Cos theta sin theta minus sin theta cos theta multiplied with a power k. A power k is what? As per this step, a power k is this. We have to substitute that here. Cos k theta sin k theta minus sin k theta cos k theta. That is equal. Now we need to multiply that. So if you multiply, what do we get? So we get cos theta into cos. So cos theta cos k theta, then this into this. So row into column. So this into this plus this into this, which is minus. This into this will give you minus. So minus sin theta sin k theta. Then again cos theta into this one sin k theta. So cos theta sin k theta plus sin theta cos k theta. Fine. Now again this into this. So minus sin theta into this will become minus cos k theta sin theta. And again this is also minus. This into this. Minus sin k theta cos theta. Again this into this. Minus sin k theta sin theta plus cos k theta cos theta. Multiplying this into this into this will give this. And what is this? This looks like what? This looks like cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. Cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. This looks like that formula, right? Cos A, if you take k theta as A and theta as B, cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So this can be written as cos of A plus B. If you apply cos of A plus B formula, that is cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. That is your cos of A plus B. And again this is what? This looks like sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. That is sin of A plus B. Sin of A plus B. Now again here, this is, if I take minus common from these two, I will get it as sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. So this will become sin of again A plus B. My A is cos theta, B is theta. If you apply again A plus sin of A plus B formula, you will get back this. And this is cos A cos B minus sin A sin B is cos A plus B. Right? So again, if I take from these two theta common, I will get cos of k plus 1 into theta, sin of k plus 1 into theta, again minus sin of k plus 1 into theta, cos of k plus 1 into theta. And what is this? This is equal to this. You got the RHS of P of k plus 1. So we started with this ak plus 1 and we have proved that ak plus 1 is equal to this. So this is true. So therefore, we can say this is your A of k plus 1. Therefore, we can say P of k plus 1 is true. We have proved that P of k plus 1 is true, which means we have proved that this is true. Fine. So I'll write the conclusion here. The continuation I'm writing here. Continuation of this is here. So therefore, we can say P of n, that is A power n, equal to cos theta, cos n theta, sin n theta, minus sin n theta, cos n theta is true. Therefore, P of n is equal to A power cos A power n equal to this for every n belonging to n. Therefore, we can say by PMI. We have to say therefore by PMI. PMI means principle of mathematical induction. By PMI, P of n equal to this, A power n equal to this for every n equal to this. So we have proved this. So once you write these three steps, the first step is we will have to prove that for n is equal to 1 it is true. Then second step, we will assume when n is equal to k it is true. We will assume. Here we will not prove. Second step will not prove. Third step, again we will have to prove that when n is equal to k plus 1 it is true. We have to prove that it is true. So we have proved that it is true because we got A power k plus 1 is this, which is this. These two are equal. So therefore k plus 1 is true. This we call it as a statement. Right? So this is true. Therefore P of n, which is A power n equal to cos n theta, sin n theta, minus sin n theta, cos theta, is true for every n belonging to n. Fine. So all of you can pause the video and take the notes. I'll go to the next example. So this is an important problem. See, all the problems in miscellaneous exercise and examples are important from both point of view. Okay? So now I will do the next problem. So the next problem is example 27, miscellaneous example 27. EG means example. Right? So what it says is A and B are symmetric matrices of same order. So what is given is A and B are symmetric matrices. So given is A and B are symmetric matrices. When they say A and B are symmetric matrices, then your A transpose equal to A, comma B transpose equal to B. A transpose is A, B transpose is B. Because they have given A and B are symmetric matrices of same order, then show that AB is symmetric if and only if A and B commute. We should prove that. What we have to prove? So to prove is AB is symmetric. AB matrix is symmetric if and only if and only if A and B commute. Right? I'm erasing this. I'm erasing this also. if and only if A and B, matrix A and matrix B commute. Commute means A and B commute, which means AB equal to BA. That is AB equal to BA. We have to prove that AB is symmetric if and only if A and B commute. That is AB equal to BA. So we have to prove that AB is symmetric whenever AB equal to BA. And since it is if and only if, you have to prove the reverse way also. So the meaning of if and only if means, if this is true, we have to prove that this is AB equal to BA. Then the other way is, if AB equal to BA, then we have to prove this. So there are two parts that we need to prove. When we have to prove two parts, when you see the word if and only if. If and only if means both the sides you have to prove. Right? You might have studied this in your mathematical reasoning chapter in your 11th standard. P implies Q. P, the meaning of this is if and only if. IFF. IFF means if and only if, which means we have to assume, we have to take P as given and prove Q, and then you have to take Q as given and we have to prove P. P implies Q and Q implies P. That meaning of this is P if and only if Q. So which means here we have to prove two things. That is, we need to prove the following. What are they? First part is, we have to prove if AB is symmetric, which means AB is symmetric matrix, then AB equal to BA, which means A and B commute. When you say A and B commute, it means AB equal to BA. This we have to prove. Second is, we have to prove if AB equal to BA, then AB is symmetric. So we have to prove if AB equal to BA, then AB is symmetric. So that is the meaning of AB is symmetric if and only if. If and only if means you have to take this as given and you have to prove this, and you have to take this as given and you have to prove AB is symmetric. Fine. So there are two things that we need to prove. The meaning of this one statement is, you have to prove these two. The moment you prove these two, which means you can say AB is symmetric if and only if. This word is very important. If and only if. If and only if A and B commute. That is AB equal to BA. So proof. We'll do the proof for the first part. The first part is, so part 1. Part 1. Right? In part 1, what is given? In part 1, what is given is, see, this is given for both the parts. This given is for both. Now I am going to write the given only for the proof of this one, part 1. So given is AB is symmetric. Given is AB. AB symmetric means what? AB transpose equal to AB. Then we call the matrix AB as symmetric. So this is given. And what we have to prove? We have to prove AB is equal to BA. See, always in any question, whatever follows if AB equal to symmetric, which means this is given to you. And whichever follows, then this you have to prove. But in any statement, if you see if something is given, if and then AB is symmetric means this is given to you. You need not prove this. This is given to you. You must prove this. AB equal to BA. So we have to prove AB equal to BA. Now how do we prove? So proof is, again, to prove is this. So I'm going to write the proof for this. Or I can say even part 1. Part 1 given is this. So to prove is this. So proof for part 1 is, so this is given. AB transpose is equal to AB. See, AB whole transpose equal to AB. That is given. Why? Because AB is symmetric. AB is symmetric means AB transpose equal to A. That is the definition for a symmetric matrix. So now what is AB transpose? AB transpose can be written as B transpose A transpose, based on the properties of transpose, right? Based on the properties of transpose of a matrix, your AB whole transpose is B transpose A transpose. That is, this is one of the properties of transpose of a matrix, which you can see. You would have seen my previous videos, right, where we talked about properties of transpose of a matrix. Now again, B transpose is what? B transpose is B. because B is a symmetric matrix. Again, A transpose is A because A is also a symmetric matrix. So B transpose I am putting B, A transpose I am putting A. So BA, here it is AB. So we have proved BA equal to AB. AB equal to B, which means AB equal to B. This is proved. So therefore, AB is equal to BA. So that is the proof for the first part. So, right? Then proof for the second part, part 2 proof. What is given in part 2? This is part 2. Right? Second part. Here AB is equal to BA, that is given. What is given? Given is AB is equal to BA. And what we have to prove? We have to prove that AB is symmetric. So to prove is AB is symmetric. Which means we should prove that is we should prove AB whole transpose equal to AB. This we have to prove. Then we can call AB as symmetric. Now we will write the proof. Now what is the proof for this? The proof is we have to prove that AB transpose equal to AB. We will start with AB transpose. Don't say AB transpose equal to AB here. We cannot say here AB transpose equal to AB because this you have to prove. But here I said that because that is given. But here we have to prove that. In part 2 you have to prove this. So AB transpose equal to, AB transpose is what? As per the properties of transpose, B transpose A transpose. As per the properties of transpose, AB whole transpose is B transpose A transpose. But B transpose is B and A transpose is A because A and B are symmetric matrices. This given is for both. But here again this given is only for part 1. So for part 1 there are two things given. This is given and this is given. Part 2, this is given and this is given. So this given is common to both. But this given is only for part 1, this given is only for part 2. Fine, now we got B transpose A. That is equal to now AB, but BA is equal to AB, that is given here. So instead of BA I can put AB. Because BA equal to AB given here. So what we got? We got AB whole transpose equal to AB, which is this. So we got AB whole transpose equal to AB. Therefore, AB is symmetric matrix. Symmetric matrix. So therefore, we have proved second part also. So finally, we can conclude since we have proved part 1 and part 2. So therefore, AB is symmetric if and only if A and B commute. Commute means AB is equal to BA. That is AB is equal to BA. This is a proof. Right? So all of you can take the notes, pause the video and take the notes. By the time I erase, you can take the notes and we will move to the next problem. Fine. Next one is example 28. So example 28 is miscellaneous. Miscellaneous example. So e.g. 28. So what is given? Given is A is given, B is given, C is given. We have to find the matrix D. So given is A matrix equal to 2, minus 1, 3, 4. And B matrix equal to 5, 2, 7, 4, colon. C matrix equal to 2, 5, 3, 8. So we have to find the matrix D such that CD minus AB equal to 0. So they have given this also, CD minus AB equal to 0. What we have to find? To find this what is matrix D? D matrix is what? You have to find what is D matrix. Fine. So now let's observe this. Let's observe this matrix CD minus, so solution is CD minus AB equal to 0 matrix, that is given. So order of, AB equal to 0. So now what is the order of A matrix? Order of A is 2 cross 2. Order of B is 2 cross 2. When you multiply, you will get the order as 2 cross 2. So order of this AB matrix is 2 cross 2 and order of C is 2 cross 2. Order of C is 2 cross 2. Therefore, your order of D also must be 2 cross 2. Only then you can multiply and again you can subtract these two. Only then you can multiply and subtract these two. Right? So we'll say A, B and C are of order 2. 2 means 2 cross 2 because they are square matrices. Or you can even say of order 2 cross 2. Therefore, D also must be of order 2 cross 2 for, therefore D also must be of order 2 cross 2 so that this is defined. CD minus AB is defined. Otherwise it cannot be defined. See, for example, if I write it like this, C and then D minus A then B equal to 0. A's order is 2 cross 2, B is 2 cross 2, C is also 2 cross 2. Right? When you multiply A and B, the resultant matrix AB will also be 2 cross 2. Suppose I don't know the order of D, I will put this as M cross N. We need to find what is M and N. We need to find what is M and N. So since this is minus, this is 0. See the order of AB, when you multiply the order will be, you will close these two 2, you will get these two 2's. That will be the order of AB. Now here order of, so now we need to multiply these two. So C into D can be multiplied only when M equal to 2. When the number of columns of the first matrix equal to number of rows of second matrix, only then we can multiply. So which means your M is equal to 2. So which means your CD M equal to 2 we get. So which means M equal to 2 we got. So when M is equal to 2, then the order of CD will be 2 cross N. 2 cross N. Because M is equal to 2, so when you multiply, M and 2 will go. The order of CD matrix will be 2 cross N. Again, when you have to subtract these two matrices, your order should be same. If this is 2 cross 2, this also should be 2 cross 2. So that gives you your N equal to 2. So your order of D becomes 2 cross 2. Hope you can understand how I am writing this statement that D also must be of order 2 cross 2. Only then CD minus AB is defined. Fine. So now let me go ahead. So C should be of order 2 cross 2. Sorry, D should be of order 2 cross 2. Therefore, we will assume the matrix D as A, B, C, small d. Because we know the order is 2 cross 2, so it has to be like this. Now we will try to find the value of ABCD. Once we find the value of ABCD, we can substitute here, we will find the D matrix. Now what is the condition given? This is given, CD minus. So CD minus AB equal to 0. 0 means 0 matrix. What is C? C is 2, 5, 3, 8 and your D is A, B, C, D minus A. A is 2 minus 1, 3, 4 and my B matrix is 5, 2, 7, 4 equal to 0. And equal to 0 means 0 matrix. So that will also be of order 0, 0, 0, 0. Fine. Now let's multiply. So let's multiply these two. So 2 into A is 2A. 5 into C is 5C. Again 2 into B is 2B. 5 into D is plus 5D. Again 3 into A is 3A. Plus 8 into C is 8C. then 3 into b is 3b plus 8d minus, multiply this, 2 into 5 is 10, 10 minus 1 into 7 is 7, then 2 into 2 is 4 plus 1 into minus 1 is minus 4, right? Now 3 into 5 is 15 plus 4 into 7 is 28. Now 3 into 2 is 6 plus 4 into 4 is 16. That is equal to 0, 0, 0, 0. Now let's subtract these two. So if you subtract these two, what do we get? We get another matrix. I'll write here. So you get, this will be 2a plus 5c minus, okay, I'll write this step also. So 2a plus 5c, then 3a plus 8c, 2b plus 5d, and 3b plus 8d. So I have written this here. Then minus, now what is 10 minus 7 is 3, 4 minus 4 is 0, then 15 plus 28 is 43, 16 plus 6 is 22, equal to 0, 0, 0, 0. Is that clear to everyone? Fine. Now we have to equate them. Now this means this is 2a minus 5c, sorry, plus 5c minus 3. And if you subtract this minus this, will give you 2b plus 5d. Then 3a plus 8c minus 43. Then 3b plus 8d minus 22. That is equal to 0, 0, 0, 0. So which gives you an equation 2a plus 5c minus 3 equal to 0, which means this implies 2a plus 5c equal to 3. So this is one equation. Then I take this equation, 3a plus 8c minus 43 equal to 0. So 3a plus 8c minus 43 equal to 0. This means 3a plus 8c equal to 43, which is equation 2. Now we'll compare this with this. So which means 2a plus 5d equal to 0. That is your third equation. Then 3b plus 8d minus 22. So 3b plus 8d minus 22 equal to 0 means this implies 3b plus 8d. This minus 22 goes to the other side. It becomes plus 22. The equation 4. So we have got 4 equations. Now if you observe, these two equations have a and c. These two equations have, sorry, this is b. This is 5b, 2b, sorry, 2b. So these two equations have b and d. 2b plus 5d equal to 0. That is this. Now we have to solve 1 and 2 and find the value of a and c, and then we have to solve 3 and 4 and find the value of b and d. So we can solve this. This is a linear equations of two variables. We can solve this by elimination method. Again, these two equations, this and this, solve by, again, elimination method, find the value of b and d. Here you solve and find the value of a and c. Fine. So now if you try to do that, if you try to solve these equations and if you try to find the value, which you will know, I am erasing this part. I am writing the continuation here. The continuation of this. So if you solve this, so solving, I'm not going to solve this. You can solve using any one of the method which you would have studied in your 10th standard. So solving 1 and 2, we get, I'm just writing what we get. We get a equal to, you will get a as 190 minus 191 and c as 77. Minus 191 and your c will become 77. Now again solving 3 and 4, we get b equal to, so your b will become 110, d is 44. So this is what you will get if you solve these two equations, 3 and 4. Fine. So now if you substitute all of them, B is minus 110, minus 110, minus, right? If you solve these four equations, you'll get this. So you got A, B, C, D. So what is your matrix D? Matrix D is this one, A, B, C, D. Substitute the value of A, B, C, D. So A is minus 191, B is minus 110, C is plus 77, D is plus 44. So this is your D matrix. This is your D matrix. Fine. So we have found the matrix D. Matrix D is minus 191, minus 110, 77 and 44. 77 and 44. So all of you can pause the video and take the notes. So copy this, then write this, then this is third. Fine. Okay. So I will pause the video here. You can watch my next video for the continuation of this. Thank you for watching. See you all in the next video. Thank you.